What's going on, y'all? Oof. It's still reeling from that Wednesday night loss. That was a bit of a rough one, but we're gonna cover a couple previews today. We're gonna talk about the Panthers Canucks back to back we have this weekend, and of course you already know when we do double barrel game action, we do double barrel what if. So it's been a fun one. I really love doing these kind of episodes, especially the double barrel what ifs, because those are always fun to kind of dive in to see what kind of players that can make us better, either right now or in the future. So let's just go ahead and hop into it. Fortunately for some people, unfortunately for others, we're playing the Panthers tomorrow night. So that'll be fun. That'll be a real fun one. It's always fun to play our number one rivals, our only other Florida team, I guess you could say. Team, call them whatever. Look, you don't like them. I don't like them. We got to talk about it, though. So, Bolts enter the first rivalry matchup of the season against the Panthers, down a few players. And then dealt with that rough loss at home on Wednesday, 7-3 to the Rangers. After the game, Yanni actually had something pretty interesting. He said, all the guys that came up did an amazing job and picked us up. We've got to find a way to win those games, right? So the young guys that came up, especially Scott Sabourin. Scott Sabourin had his first NHL goal in the loss. Finley had his first assist. Curtis Douglas had his first assist. When we're dealing with these injuries, especially this weekend, and over the next few games, we're really going to need these players to step up and play good hockey for us. Because right now, with all the injuries we have, it is a bit worrisome to say the least. Both teams are having kind of disappointing seasons based on, the level of play they expect. Panthers are 9-7-1 with 19 points. Bolts are right behind them with 18 points at 8-6-2. So both teams play each other 4 times. That's how it works in a divisional matchup, including 3 times, though, before the end of this calendar year. So literally over the next 6 weeks, they'll play each other 3 times, with the first one tomorrow night. So that's the thing. We need to get back on track with a win. But can we do it in an arena, frankly, that's given us a lot of headaches over the last few years? That's something we all want to see, right? We all want to see us beat the Panthers, especially. I feel like if we went 4-80 the whole year, but all 4 wins were against the Panthers, it was still successful. Because nobody likes the Panthers, bro. Ahead of the matchup today, after today's practice, Coop said some of the players who practiced today won't be available. So Nick Paul's hopefully going to be back next week. He did say this. He said, we're a bit of a mash unit right now. We'll have to wake up tomorrow and see where we're at. So, yeah, seeing where we're at would be pretty wise. Lot of injuries right now. Nick Paul's one. Dominic James is another. Ryan McDonough. Nico Huniton still on the IR from before the season. Pontus Holmberg. Brandon Hagel after that hit against the Rangers, which... Getting really tired of people hitting Brandon Hagel in the head. I'm just saying that now. Getting real fed up with it. It's really getting frustrating. Hedman and Sorelli are also nursing knocks as well, but hopefully they'll be in the lineup this weekend. Personally, I would sit at least Hedman for tomorrow night. Now come back on Sunday. But I'm not Coop. So, Hagel, James, Holmberg, and McDonough all missed Friday's session. And Sorelli and Hedman were on the ice, though. So that's a good thing. So the question is this, young players like Sabourin, Tkachuk, Finley, Douglas, Goncalves, they all need to improve and play well. They need to continue to do so. Sabourin going back to Sunrise is really fun because, he did get suspended for his role in that preseason finale. But, I think it'd be cool to see him notch his second goal in front of the Panthers home crowd. And, will fireworks erupt once again, right? The preseason finale was a rough one for both sides, but especially the Bolts because, they got hit with all of the punishment. Meanwhile, the Panthers got nothing. It would actually be nice to see if they actually do get punished if something happens tomorrow. But knowing the NHL, they won't. So, beating them will be the best revenge. If we can get a dub against them, get our first win against them in the season, and get past them in the standings, I think that's really going to help us moving forward. But there is another team that we should get a win against, and that's our Sunday opponent, the Canucks. Simple as that. Second matchup of the weekend back-to-back. We're going to be in Sunrise tomorrow, but we'll be back home on Sunday against the Canucks. We're sort of a 3-game homestand, actually. This is a matchup that we should win. Even if we don't win the Panthers matchup tomorrow, which we will, because nobody likes the Panthers. this is one we need to win, though, right? Because, the Canucks are second to last in the Pacific. They're 8-9-1. They do have 17 points, though, so they're right behind us point-wise. They've lost their last two and are 4-5-1 in their last 10. So, Kenny Young has continued to step up, right? The 7-3 loss to the Rangers, many of them made contributions. Moser had an assist. Douglas and Finley had their first NHL assist. Sabourin scored his first goal. So, we really need those players to continue to step up and play good hockey. Maxwell Crozier did return a few days ago. He did play the most he's played since the season opener and the loss to the Rangers. He played 16 minutes and 25 seconds in that loss. That was the highest time on ice since the season opener, where he played 17:52. So he's probably going to tee up Moser on the first line this weekend. That is if Hedman doesn't go out. So the question is, if he does, can he continue his strong early season play? Because if so, then that's really going to put us in a good spot. If Hedman does return, however, don't be surprised to see Crozier team up with Lilleberg on the third line. Really anything to get Darren Radish out of the lineup, because it's looking rough. Looking real rough. If he's in there. Potential Bolts trade targets, Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson lead the Canucks in points with 13. Hughes has a goal and 12 assists. Pettersson has 3 goals and 10 assists. So, they're both pulling their weight. Yeah, the Canucks might not have gone off to the best start, but still a pretty good hockey team. And this is going to be a tough one that we need to win. Yeah, we should be favored to win, but at the same time, we're really going to need to keep our head on a swivel and play the best hockey we can. So, we're playing the second game of our season series in Vancouver in March. So, we got a while to go before we see the Canucks again after Sunday. The Bolts have already swept one Western Conference foe this year. Remember, they swept Vegas already, right? If they can get a head start on sweeping the Canucks with a win Sunday, I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking it's going to be a dub for us. I'd love to go 2-0 this weekend. No, I'm putting it there. We're going 2-0 this weekend. Panthers are going to lose at home. We're going to beat the Canucks at the bench. This is going to happen. So we'll see Monday if I'm right, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in my gut. So, but yeah, double barrel what if action today. Starting with Daniil Tarasov. He's the number 2 goalie for the Panthers at the moment. Will we ever trade for a Panthers player? I don't know, probably not. But hey, if the deal's right, why not, right? Anything to help this team improve. That's really the number one goal. Panthers' number 2 goalies in his first season with Florida. He did start his career with the Blue Jackets. He was selected by them in the 3rd round in 2017. Did play 4 seasons with them, serving as the number 2 goalie the last 3 years. 26 years old right now. Last year, it was actually his worst season as the Blue Jackets number 2. Played in 20 games with 19 starts, went 7-10-2 with a 3.54 GAA and an 881 save percentage. So it's looking a little rough. 2 years ago was his best year, though. 24 games played in 23 starts. Went 8-11-3 with a 908 save percentage and 318 GAA. So, not terrible, but so far, an early sample size with the Panthers. Sorry, y'all, I haven't had my coffee today. He's played pretty well. 1-3-1 with a 902 save percentage and a 2.60 GAA. So it's clear, because he's on a better team, he's probably going to be playing better, and he is. He is playing better. He's going to be a UFA next summer alongside Bob. So the Panthers could, in theory, lose both of their goalies next summer. It's certainly possible. If Tarasov's play continues to improve in Florida, though, could he be a number 1? I mean, he's only 26, so it's highly possible he could be. No, it's not possible. I'll say it's possible. I mean, this is still a pretty early sample size. But I believe he'd be an interesting addition, especially if JoJo doesn't work out, because he is only 26. And it's really worth looking into. A trade between us and the Panthers is almost certainly not going to happen. But at the same time, we need to try to figure out any way imaginable to improve this team. It's possible Tarasov could be something that would improve this team. However, there is one player that would certainly improve this team, and that is, Elias Pettersson, number 1 for the Canucks. Remember, they have 2. They have the veteran center, and then they have the young defenseman too, which hopefully we'll be talking about the young defenseman here in the next few days, if not sometime later this year. So I'm a big fan of his. The older Pettersson 2017 fifth overall pick by the Canucks, now in his 8th season in Vancouver. So he's played in 65 plus games in 5 of his first 7 seasons, right? Last season in 64 games played, 45 points, 15 goals, 30 assists. The negative 10 plus minus is a little worrisome, especially when you're, thinking you're not thinking you are the number one center on this team. You don't want a negative 10 plus minus. Points got the negative 11 for us right now. At least I think it's a negative 11. It might be higher by now. 18 minutes and 39 seconds time on ice last season. Having a pretty good start to the year with the 3 goals and 10 assists, right? Before missing time last year, though, he did play in 80-plus games over the last 3 years before that. 2023 was his lone season with a full 82-game slate. Did score 89 points, 34 goals, and 55 assists, which is over a point per game. That's exactly what we're looking for. Plus 20 plus minus in 19 minutes and 39 seconds of time on ice. So 2023 was his best season from a scoring perspective. He played in 80 games and notched 102 points. Plus 16 plus minus, 20 minutes, 33 seconds time on ice. Also had his highest goal score, 39 goals that year, 63 assists as well. Now, it's clear he can handle the larger load of being a top-line guy because he's averaged a little over 19 minutes time on ice his entire career. With the Bolts, he would certainly be on the ice that much, if not more. Right? We're looking... I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but after Braden Point's start, maybe it's time to bring in another option who can see who can play center on one. Or maybe it's time to see if Sorelli can do it. But Pettersson is definitely somebody that can do it because he does it already for the Canucks. And I feel like putting him in the middle of our line at top health, like Gunsel, Pettersson, Cooch, would be a lot of fun. And I think it could really be an improvement over Point, especially after his play lately. And Sorelli's nursing a knock. So the Canucks are second to last right now, like I said. The 8-9-1's not bad. Remember, the Bulls have 8 wins too, or just 8-6-2. So if they continue to struggle, would they trade something like Pettersson? Remember, he's only in the second year of a long-term deal with the Canucks. Already 27. However, if they would, it would be very, very expensive. So if Reboy wants him, he's better start calling now and see what he can what he can do in order to get him in Pole Blue. So yeah, Monday we're gonna be back. We'll be back with a recap of both matchups this weekend, both Panthers and Canucks games, and a double barrel what if as well. So you get 4 what ifs in 2 days, not bad at all. But yeah, this is Jordan Llanes signing off. Let's beat the Panthers tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see y'all then. Have a good one.